conversations start on the front porch and end up in the front seat of a quality pre-owned vehicle. At Ray Warner Ford, we keep it simple, honest, and local with vehicles you trust. 21 Ford Explorer Timberline 4x4, $36,990. 22 Ford Mustang Convertible EcoBoost Premium, $25,550. 22 Ford Escape SEL All-Wheel Drive, $24,950. Make the move from the porch to the driver's seat at Ray Warner Ford. Local you trust, pre-owned vehicles you can afford.
Woo! Let's get this day started. This day. Let me have another cup of coffee. Good morning to you. Happy Tuesday. Have you been outside yet? It's the air that you can wear this morning. It feels incredibly muggy this morning, and it is warm, and it is muggy. So grab yourself a cup of iced coffee this morning. We got a lot to talk about this morning. We're talking tropics. We're talking minimal chances for rain, but maybe some isolated, some heavier downpours. I'll show you exactly where. Got your national holidays coming up. We got some photos to share with you, and I guess that's about it, my friends. That's what we do on a daily basis. Anyways, we got Julie, Lee, Katrina, Linda. It is Taco Tuesday, Katrina. Cheryl, good morning, Cheryl. Cheryl says it's Taco Tuesday as well. My in-laws are coming into town. The kids and I have to go grocery shopping. My wife is working, and, well, we'll just see what we end up with dinner for the night tonight. Maybe just tacos. It would be nice and easy for sure. I want to take it back outside to show you what it looks like from Hardin Valley anyways. That's the Orange Hat Brewing camera right there on Hardin Valley Road looking north towards Oak Ridge, Carnes, Solway anyways. Nice little sunrise. And it's a 180 camera, so it gets a lot, right? That's why the building looks curved. That building actually that it sits on is fully straight. But it's one of those 180 cameras, so it looks really cool. Well, I think it looks cool anyways. All right, did you get any rainfall yesterday? Probably not. Probably not. We didn't get a whole lot of rainfall yesterday. A couple of spotty showers. Fentress County, Jamestown picked up nearly 1/4 of an inch of rain, and that was about the extent of it yesterday. I think we'll have a little bit better coverage of rainfall throughout the day today, but in different locations. I think Upper East Tennessee, basically from Knox County towards Tri-Cities, has the best chance of a little bit of rain there. Not much going on out there this morning, but notice where the showers are firing up over into Arkansas, head into Missouri, Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana. A little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity. Watch as I've been showing you this all week long, but we look at the mid-level energy in the atmosphere, and that's where we have most of our mid-level energy. We don't have a lot of that over us here in East Tennessee, so therefore, without this mid-level energy, we're not going to see a whole lot. One thing I want to point out, though, is look at Upper East Tennessee. Let me just zoom in here. Let me just zoom in. See that little piece of energy right there? The yellows, obviously, you can see how it's going to spark off some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. So as that slides its way from, say, Knox County towards Tri-Cities, that's going to help to spark off some of those afternoon showers and thunderstorms. So I do think that we'll see more rain potentially in Upper East Tennessee. Not a washout by any stretch. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Nothing going on from now through lunchtime. So we're going to be doing fantastic there. But as we get into the 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 o'clock hour, notice where the showers and thunderstorms are, basically along the I-81 corridor. So Knox County to northeast to Tri-Cities, along the Tennessee-Kentucky border, Tennessee-Virginia border, and over into North Carolina. That's really where I think we'll see the majority of our rainfall throughout the day today. Now, you hear me talk about this on this program every once in a while, and I'm talking precipitable water. Well, what does that mean? Precipitable water is the amount of moisture that can be precipitated out of the atmosphere if we were to precipitate it all. And that gives us a number. Well, our number is going to be pushing close to 2 today. And anytime that precipitable water number gets close to 2 or over 2, like 1.75, I mean, literally, you're getting tropical-like downpours. So some solid downpours. If any of those storms can really tap into the atmosphere, we'll see some strong gusty winds up to about 40 miles per hour. Not necessarily expecting any severe weather threat, but flooding and flash flooding concerns do increase across Upper East Tennessee thanks to the fact that we have that water-loaded atmosphere, and that's where we'll see the potential, anyways, of the majority of the rain, really. So, again, Knox County towards Tri-Cities, keep that in mind. And don't forget to scan the QR code at the bottom right-hand side of the screen. If you're on Facebook, I'll post that link in this chat here this morning. I'll do that right now, actually, for those of you that may not have the East Tennessee Weather app. So make sure you download this. This link will take you right to your app store. So it doesn't take you to my website or anything like it used to. I got a new QR code. So there we go. I threw it in the chat for anybody that does not have the East Tennessee Weather app. Just click on that link. I think it linked it. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. Anyways, click on that link if the link's there and download the East Tennessee Weather app. Listen, I mean, the interactive radar is going to be great on days like today where you can help to navigate those storms. And I say it all the time, just check in before you leave the office for the day. Say, just check in on the interactive radar and say, are there any storms that are heading my way? And if there are some storms firing up, just push play, and that gives you that 2-hour future cast to kind of help you navigate those storms a little bit. So it's really a great benefit for sure. So we were at like 76 degrees when I first came into work. Then we bumped up to 77 degrees. And now officially at the airport where Maryville is, and now we're down to 75. But again, it's incredibly warm. It's incredibly muggy here to get the day started. Good morning, Beverly. How are you this morning? Let's see, what did Lee say? Yeah, the link is there in the chat. All right, so Lee says, playing golf this morning, and the course could really use some rain. And Kimberly is like, yeah. And I agree with you both. Well, it's nice not to mow the yard all the time. The yard's not looking too great, is it? 90 degrees by the lunch hour. So that's even warmer than what it was at the lunch hour yesterday. And by the way, I never even said how hot it got yesterday, right? Did I show you those temperatures? Did I not show you those? I did not show you those. Those got somehow deleted. But anyways, we made it to 93 yesterday. And I was forecasting 93. Today's going to be one whopping degree hotter. We're going 94 degrees here this afternoon. The rain we just got made the weeds grow. My grass is crunchy. It's quenchy is what we call it. Quenchy. All right, so your evening forecast, we're going to see those temperatures in the low 90s by 6. Some of you may have to dodge a few afternoon or evening thunderstorms on your way home. And then 81 degrees as the atmosphere quiets down at 10 o'clock here tonight. If you're still up and about, let's see. We got a soccer game tomorrow. One Knox is playing, by the way. All right, here we go. Mid-level energy and spin. Let's go back to this. This is for tomorrow. And notice there's a little bit more of a wave that's going to be swinging its way in across parts of the Ohio Valley. That's going to give us, let me go back to that. That didn't work very well. That's going to give a little bit better coverage, a little bit more of a push of some of these showers and storms, and a little bit more movement. So today's storms won't move very quickly. It's very slow movers, and they'll likely rain themselves out. As we get into the day tomorrow, notice we have a little bit more progression from west to east. And so we could potentially see a little bit better coverage. Anytime we get a little bit more progression with the storm motions move a little bit faster, we typically get better coverage of rainfall. Anytime the storm motion is really light in the atmosphere, these storms just pop up. They don't move anywhere. And so it's kind of feast or famine at that point of the game. And I think it's still going to be kind of feast or famine. This is a radar futurecast model anyways, picking up today and tomorrow's rainfall. So we have a better chance for rain across the mountains of East Tennessee and also just off to our north and northeast anyways, where we do have a little bit more energy, as I've been explaining. This ridge of high pressure dominates all week long, so our temperatures will continue to stay, for heat index values anyways, in the low 100s. So it is going to be it's going to be extremely hot. Percentage of rainfall, I toned today down. Yesterday I was forecasting, I think, a little bit higher percentage. I think I was going about 40-50% chance of rain. Just really doesn't look like that's going to come to fruition. So therefore, not really looking at much in the way of rain today, but that's going to gradually increase a little bit. Either way you slice it and dice it, we're not talking about any major disturbance or storm system to bring us widespread rain. So we just have to kind of continue to deal with the lack of rain. Now, again, I think the general idea is we'll see over about a half an inch to an inch of rain potentially area-wide for the Cumberland Plateau, and the Smoky Mountains could see a little bit more. But the valley locations, the central and southern valley, not going to get a whole lot. The northern valley will get a little bit more, but that potentially just could come through for the day today. All right, let's talk tropical weather for a second, shall we? Anybody have any vacation plans down along the Gulf Coast? Well, we've got a disturbance that the National Hurricane has now upped it to a 40% probability over the next 2 to 7 days of this becoming our next tropical system, our next named storm. So here's our future cast on that. And I'm just going to take you through Wednesday because this is the high resolution forecast model. So it only goes out really until Thursday morning anyways. But you can see how that low is going to be moving its way from east to west. Not usual, but not unusual when it comes to tropical lows and whatnot based on where we have ridges and troughs taking shape. But That's going to drift its way into the Gulf, depending on how close to land it gets, depends on how strong it gets. I think if it stays way out in the Gulf, it becomes a stronger storm system. If it skirts across the coastline a little bit more, it interacts with land, and so therefore it decreases the intensity. You need the ocean waters. But when you're looking at rainfall just from today and tomorrow down there, heaviest rain is going to be across central and southern Florida, towards Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, Tampa anyways, and then all the way from Louisiana to Tallahassee, we have a chance for those showers and thunderstorms. And then this thing may curve further north, and depending on when that happens, if that happens, and how that happens, depends on really our coverage of rainfall, because that low could get picked up and move into our area, which would give us a little bit better potential for some rainfall around the area. All right, which would be nice because we know our grass is quenchy. All right, here's your 7-day forecast. Again, a stretch of 90s continues, and those low temperatures are going to stay in the 70s. Showers and thunderstorms pretty much each and every day. I don't ever want you to ever look at the East Tennessee Weather app, and because I know that's the app that you use, right? I don't ever want you to look at the East Tennessee Weather app and just see the icons or percentages. Always dive into the details, because remember, rainfall percentages don't tell you the whole story. Timing, duration, intensity, or rainfall totals. So you got to look at the rest of the story. And with these afternoon showers and thunderstorms, we have a lot of folks that are coming to town, moving to town, visiting our town. I never want anybody to look at the percentages and say, can't do that today. Even if I had a 100% chance of rain on the 7-day forecast, as I tell you many a times. By the way, big shout out to downtown Clinton here this morning. Many a times, even if I had 100%, that just means everyone's going to get rain. Again, it never tells you the whole story. Timing, duration, intensity, rainfall totals. A weak little wave could produce just barely measurable rainfall for everybody in East Tennessee, and that technically would be a 100% chance of rain. You see what I'm talking about? It's clear as mud. And Katrina says, and so does Kimberly, yes, Kim, let's dance, shall we? Ladies, I'll dip you. If you dip, I dip, we dip, right? Sometimes I sing songs and I probably shouldn't. So we gave a shout out to downtown Clinton. Anybody heading off to the lakes today? Or are you working all day? We'll take you back outside and show you what it looks like from Fox Road Marina as we get those national holidays going. And by the way, it is time for your national holidays of the day. And we've got several more today, which is great news to pass along. Better than when we only have like 2 or 3, right? Of course, we're celebrating birthdays and events here today. So anybody has a birthday on July 15th, my wife's birthday is coming up in just 13 days. I think she's holding strong at 29. All right. So give us a shout out if you have any events going on. We have one Knox playing soccer tomorrow night. I do know that. My in-laws are coming in today. At 4 o'clock is when they land at McGee-Tyson Airport. Anything else I want to talk about? Let's see. Nope. So anyways, they come in at 4 o'clock here this afternoon. They're going to be here for several more days. Let's see. I've got a bachelor party to go to here this upcoming weekend. Although I'm not going to be broadcasting from there. I'm going to drive to Nashville. I'll talk more about this on Saturday. But Saturday I'm going to drive to Nashville, hang out with my friends, go to the soccer game in Nashville, and then drive back Saturday night. Because I have to be here on Sunday morning. Because the show must go on. Unfortunately, I don't have anybody to help me out yet, but we're working our way there. All right, so it's Social Media Giving Day. I'm not quite 100% sure what that means, but let's take a look at that, shall we? Today is Social Media Giving Day on the National Day calendar, and we are encouraging everyone to use social media to make a difference in the world by promoting charitable giving. That's great. We are celebrating Social Media Giving Day by using social media to promote generosity and kindness through all of our platforms. And remember, I've got a donation link. You can buy me a cup of coffee, by the way, on the East Tennessee Weather website. Just throwing that out there on Social Media Giving Day, helping to help the East Tennessee Weather platform if you can. All right, I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding, right? I don't really want your money. Anyways, National Gummy Worm Day. That, my friends, is my kind of a day. Any type of gummy candy is amazing. I was eating some gummy candy after dinner last night, and I was like, please take this bag away from me. I cannot have a bag of gummy candy in front of me without mowing down the entire bag. Are you the same? Do you like gummy candy? Some of my favorites. Cinnamon bears are like hands down some of my favorite candy, but we're not celebrating that today. We're celebrating National Gummy Worm Day. It's also National Tapioca Pudding Day. I'll give a big shout out for that as well. I think tapioca pudding is one of those weird ones that if you don't like the texture of it, you're not going to like it. But if you don't mind the texture of tapioca, then tapioca pudding is amazing. It's National I Love Horses Day. Do you like horses? Do you have a horse? Do you ride horses? Do you like horses? I mean, horses are awesome. Now, I've been on a horse. I've taken little horse tours. I've done this a couple of times in my life. And I'm telling you, it gives me a totally different appreciation for jockeys who race horses. When a horse starts to gallop, it's scary. Like, they're going fast. I can't even imagine being on a horse that is like racing in a horse race. No, not when you're 18 hands off the ground going, I don't know, 25 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour. I don't know how fast these things run. But I'm okay with not being on that, going that fast. I'm good with just a little trot. But sometimes if you take those little tours and trots and you don't ride horses very often, yeah, the inside of your thighs are chafed and sore. It's National Pet Fire Safety Day. Well, that's a good one. Shall we see what this one says? That's a cute doggy right there. I'm telling you. I feel like they probably need a Dalmatian in that picture with a fire hat, right? Am I wrong? Anyways, National Pet Fire Safety Day on July 15th reminds us to consider our pets when planning fire routes and safety in our homes. You can't leave your house without your pets. Same with severe weather, right? I always talk about that. Make sure you take your pets and your kids. Of course, you got to take your kids with you if you've got to take cover during severe weather. Our pets are as much of a part of our family as any other member. That is true. No matter what kind of pet you have. The day stresses the importance of practicing or protecting them, taking preventable measures now that we can both save our home and our pet. Many times our pets can cause a fire if we don't take the proper precautions. There we go. There's a bunch of tips right there, so you can check that out if you're interested. And it's National Give Something Away Day. Now that's got a jar of money. Let's see what it says. Ooh, the good old $2 bill right there. I got a $2 bill. I got a couple anyways. Most of us have the benefit of having more than we need to live. Is that not the truth? National Give Something Away Day on July 15th offers us an opportunity to share some of our bounties with others. In the United States, giving is on the rise. According to Giving USA, giving rose in all 9 major categories in 2016. Religion, education, human services, giving to foundations, health, public society benefit, arts, culture and humanities, international affairs, environment, and animals. Giving actually really does benefit us all, doesn't it? It improves our community and puts much needed services and assistance within the reach of those who need it most. Again, especially if you have an abundance of stuff, give it away. And listen, and I'll give a big shout out to that, right? I've tried the old Facebook Marketplace to try to sell things over the years. Just not really conducive, right? It's kind of a pain. Sometimes it's worth just taking it to your favorite donation place, whether that be your church or some of the bigger ones. But we always we always give our stuff to Carm here locally. All right, that's all we have for the national holidays for the day today. We'll take you back outside, shall we? How about this one? Oh, that's a nice sunrise taking shape here this morning. Ooh, Grab your cameras and grab that sunrise. Send it my way through Witcher's Pictures using the East Tennessee Weather app. It's a good one. I love when we have some mid-level clouds hanging out with us. Those mid-level clouds really help to make some amazing sunrises. Now, sunrise in the, red sky in the morning, sailors take warning. And it's not like we have a major storm system on the way. That's a little bit of a different red sky, if you will. We just got a few clouds, mid-level clouds hanging out with us. And that is it. And unfortunately, no photos to share with you on the East Tennessee Weather app under Witcher's Pictures. So it is 6:24. Guess we'll kind of wrap things up here this morning. I love to give. I have a $2 bill, says Cheryl. Wild Bill Witcher, the lone Witcher. Giddy up. You can only imagine me on a horse, right? You have a horse named Princess? I love that. Betty likes tapioca. I love tapioca. Tapioca pudding is okay. Love horses. Only rode once, though, years ago. Morning, Tammy. How are you this morning? You don't have a horse, but you like them, huh, Kimberly? Denise loves horses. I've owned several. I've had a friend that bought their daughter a horse. Or like rented, I guess, and bought half a horse or something like that. Just to make it cheaper? You just fed your chickens? Send me a picture of your chickens, Denise. Come on. We need some fun photos out there. Let's see. Some in-laws are fantastic. Then we have monster in-laws, ex-in-laws, we're one in a million. Well, my in-laws are amazing. They do a great job with our kids. They're great to us. We're great to them as well. Got it. They're getting older, right? You love some gummy bears when crocheting. Keeps my hands clean. And I still get a snack. I like that, Felicia. I like that a lot. All right, Cheryl, I hope you have a terrific Taco Tuesday as well. We're going to wrap things up. Be safe, be kind to each other. Life is short. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock for Wake Up with Witcher. Witcher's Adventures, when the in-laws come in town, maybe I'll post some photos. And, of course, I'll always post some photos on social media. If you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, scan that QR code, go to your app store and search East TN Weather, all one word. Or you can just search East Tennessee Weather. It shows right up at the top. And I'll keep you posted on everything weather every single day. Plus some fun in Witcher's Adventures, if you care to see. All right, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great day.